This video, I want to talk to you about the Brother Pacesetter PS500. Ken Sewing Center has been an authorized Brother dealer for the past 50 years and proud to offer all the Brother lineup. The PS500 is not your average computerized sewing machine. It has more stitches on it, a lot more features, built very sturdy. This particular machine will have a little bit larger size motor than your average machine will. The body size on this machine is a lot larger, and we'll get into some of the major features of this machine. The PS500 offers a very good stitch selection. You do have a built-in alphabet on the machine, but as far as the stitch patterns built into the machine goes, you have your quilting stitches, your garment construction stitches are built in. We'll have the overcast stitches and the applique stitches built in. You do have the one-step buttonholes built in to the machine. Then you get into some more decorative stitches, which will also feature some overcasting and quilting stitches that you can use. These stitches here will give you a good decorative border to what you're working with. And then you have the alphabet, so if you want to make a quilt label, just put an initial on a dress shirt. You're able to do that built into the machine. You don't have to go to the computer to do that. Threading of the PS500 is very, very simple. Everything that comes off our spool pin here, it is channeled, and the machine built in will show you where you put the thread. So it's very easy just running down the channel of the machine, going up and over, go through our needle traverse lever here, go down, and I have a built-in needle threader that's built in on the machine to thread the needle for me. I do have a large accessory tray that I can remove, and the accessory tray opens from the top so I can see all my accessories and pick out what I need. All the Brother feet will have letters indented into them, so I'll know exactly what foot I have on the machine. The machine on our touch screen will recommend a letter for the stitch that I'm working with, and I can adjust my length and width on all my sewing patterns and access everything right here in front of me. So again, there's no computer that we have to go to operate the machine. Our computer controls are laid out very nicely on the machine. You have all the major features that you find on the higher end models. I can override the speed of my foot control here, or I can hit start stop, so I don't have to have the foot control if I don't want to use that. I can just hit start stop here. This feature is really nice to have. It's a built-in scissor, which I can push that. It snips my bobbin and the top thread for me. I do have the auto lock feature. I've got reverse that's built in. So the machine is very well rounded, has just enough stitches on it you're going to be able to grow into, and is built very solid. So let's talk about some of the major features of the machine. Come off of our spool pin, and on the machine it will show us which thread guides we need to go through to get it to the bobbin. Different people like to wind their bobbins differently. There are little holes in your bobbin. I do like to thread it up through that little hole, just personal preference. Move my bobbin winder over, hit go. I can slow it down or speed it up as I go, and I'll stop. On this method, I just break it off there. You want to wind your bobbins about 3/4 of the way full. I don't like winding the bobbin completely full or it's going out of the perimeter of my bobbin. Could run into tension issues that way. Threading our bobbin is super easy. It's channeled as well against the thread into the proper tensions of your bobbin case. There's a little razor that breaks off the excess, and you just put your bobbin cover back on. Now let's show you how easy it is to thread this machine. Have a horizontal spool pin here, and just hold your thread with your right hand. Keep a little bit of tension on it. So we want to make sure that we get our threads in our tension. Make sure you have your presser foot in the up position. That releases the tension disc on the machine, ensuring that I get the thread into my tension. And then I have a guide right before my needle. There's a little razor on the side of the machine. I can rake the thread across. Make sure we have our needle in the highest position, and I've threaded my needle. Raise our bobbin thread up, just hit our needle up, needle down button once, and it's up, ready to go. PS500 will have extra high lift under the presser foot, so if I'm working with thicker materials, I do have the ability to raise that up for quilting or larger projects, hemming blue jeans, things of that nature. The feed dog system on this machine, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different places that my feed dogs is touching my fabric. That is going to ensure even feeding as the needle's penetrating the garment. You really appreciate that on your lighter materials, silks, your see-throughs, light cottons, batiste materials, because it's going to reduce the likelihood of those fabrics puckering because there's more surface area touching the garment as it's feeding it through. If you do need other feeding attachments like a walking foot or even feed foot, we do have those available for the machine and can help you with those. Now let's sew a little bit on this machine. On the front of my diagram here, I can pull up a stitch that I want to. Let's say that I just want to do a simple zigzag stitch. My width and length settings are right there in front of me. I'm able to pull those up, adjust them however I need to adjust it, and then I'm ready to sew. If I want to go to another stitch, I just look up on my placard up top, make sure I'm in the correct mode on the machine, which is real easy to pull that up here right on the front of the machine for what mode that I'm in. The same picture is right here on my placard, so it makes it really convenient for me. It makes it easy for me knowing what I'm doing right then, so I don't make an error, mess up a garment, have to pull out stitches. So we'll go to our straight stitch here. This machine, like I say, it can handle, we show this demonstration quite often on the higher quality machines, it can handle a lot thicker materials than your average machine can. We'll put that thicker denim underneath the garment. Our tension basically is set at 4 right now. There's not an automatic tension on the PS500. You're not going to need it. The likelihood of you having to adjust tension is going to be very, very small. If you are having stitching problems, there are some other issue, we can troubleshoot with you over the phone and help you with that. But as we sew along, it really is going through this thicker denim with no problem, and I can easily, because of the top dropping bobbin this machine has, go on down to a thinner material, not have to worry about the machine jamming on me or puckering the material. That's a cotton I'm going through right now, and I'm going through a stretch material right now. And we'll show you that this fabric's from extreme heavy to extreme lightweight. It's not going to pucker it, and it's going to sew it with no problem whatsoever. So we'll hit our scissor. I'm going to raise my presser foot right here. It just snipped the bobbin in the top thread for me. I've sewn through thick denim, through a cotton, and through a stretch material, and there is no puckering in any of those garments, and it fed it smoothly as you saw demonstrated.